It's time for Ohio State basketball. The Buckeyes are preparing for battle, and you're preparing to listen to them. Equally important, this is fan warm-up.
Buckeye basketball is finally here tonight, 1 hour away from Ohio State taking on IU Indy in the season opener. Reimer's behind the glass, and he's like a kid in a candy store today. He was telling me all the quad boxes that he's going to have going on tonight. He's going to be watching High Point, and who else were you watching tonight, Reimer?
That is High Point against Furman.
High Point and Furman. It is college basketball season. Hopefully everybody is having a great start to their Monday. We're going to talk to Ron Stokes here in just a couple of minutes when he's ready over at the Shot. Again, 6:30 tip-off between the Buckeyes and IU Indy coming up here a little bit later on. How about Jake Diebler? Let's hear from him. He was in studio last week. He was hanging out with Common Man and Timmy, and I really liked this from Jake Diebler, and he's excited for the season to get going. I think everybody is for sure, but he especially is, and this was, again, Jake Diebler with Common Man and Timmy last week when he was hanging out in studio with us.
I'm so excited for us to start games. You know, I get asked a lot, what's the difference between this year and last year, and I'll say this, first off, just off the jump, like I love going to practice with these guys every day. They work extremely hard. They're connected. We can coach them hard. And there's this high collective basketball IQ that really has allowed us to grow at a significant rate. Like I feel today we are much further along than we were this time last year going into our first game. Now, you know, we got to go out and do it, right? We got to go out and perform against live competition that counts now. But just as far as how the preparation has gone and the growth of this team, it's been huge, and it's been a lot of fun. Like I think that's part of it. It's been a lot of fun coaching this group, and I'm excited for this to kind of come to fruition on the court.
I think everybody's excited for this season. A lot to like. Obviously, returning three of your guys in Devin Royal, John Mobley Jr., and Bruce Thornton, and we can of course talk about them. And I think the season goes as they do. But you want to look at two of the pieces that they brought in, Brandon Knoll and Christoph Tilley. If you didn't watch the Ohio University, the exhibition game that they played just last weekend, those two guys in the front court were pretty awesome. They were very, very good. They were spreading the ball around. They were moving it quick, and it was really fun to watch. Again, like Devin Royal, John Mobley Jr., of course, Bruce Thornton. I saw Bruce Thornton was on the Naismith preseason awards watch list earlier on today, so that was fun. Obviously, I don't think anybody in the NCAA playing basketball right now deserves more to make the NCAA tournament than Bruce Thornton does. But these two dudes out here in the front court, Knoll and Christoph Tilley, I mean, they were sensational against Ohio University. Christoph Tilley went for 14 points. He had 5 rebounds. He had 7 assists. And then Brandon Knoll, 7 for 8 from the field, 18 points in the exhibition game in only 19 minutes. So it should be fun. We'll see the depth as it gets kind of rolling here and what the lineup looks like. But it should be a fun start to the season. I'm looking forward to it. I do have November 16th kind of circled on the calendar as well, because Ohio State should make their way through these first couple of games with no problem. But they do play Notre Dame on the 16th, right here in Value City Arena at the Shot. And that should be a very, very fun one for them to start the season in the non-conference. What about the new court? Jake Diebler was excited about that. We all got to see it. And if you're going over to the Shot this evening, you get to see it live in person as well.
This is a blend, right? When you look at the court design, there's a simplicity and kind of retro feel to it with this new twist of being light gray. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't, this overboard, we're going to do crazy. It's going to be like 3 color shades of gray on the court or anything like that. It was, no, we wanted to honor kind of, the history of the program and create a simplicity to it, but then make it cutting edge, make it different, make it pop. And I think people are going to really like it.
Took the words out of my mouth. Make it pop. That's what it looks like, at least on social media. I haven't seen it with my eyeballs, but this man has. Let's go to Ron Stokes.
It's time to go inside the Buckeyes with OSU basketball analyst and former captain Ron Stokes.
Head over to the Shot. Buckeyes and IU Indy coming up here at 6:30. Ron, happy basketball season. How's that court looking in person? It looks pretty stellar on the internet.
Yeah, it looks really good. Very clean. In fact, I was just talking to a former Buckeye who does this for a living. In fact, he's put this floor in.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Mr. Jay Burson. And he asked me, what did you think? I said, Jay, looks great. Looks fantastic. I love the tint of the gray and the body of the floor, and just listening to the question posed to Coach Diebler is not over the top. It's nice. It's blended. It's good. I'm looking forward to seeing the second version of the next floor as well.
I am too, because it's interchangeable, right? You got the two logos that can go on it, which is awesome. Ron, we talked before the OU exhibition game last week, and I was just talking about Christoph Tilley and Brandon Knoll. It was a great start to their Ohio State careers, and if those guys move the ball anything like they did, what we saw last week, that gives this team a ton of options on the offensive side.
Yeah, flexibility is going to be a strength for them. And when you think about what's important for any team in today's landscape is that when you bring in new players, how soon can they adjust and contribute to the offense on both ends of the floor? And you look at three statistics here. The top leader in assists was a newcomer in Tilley, and then the top point getter was Brandon Knoll. And the guy off the bench with the best numbers was a freshman. And so right there in itself, three newcomers come in right away. Now, again, it was an exhibition game, but to your point, you can be optimistic that if they can continue to do those types of things for this team, you can't help but to be excited.
You mentioned a freshman right there, Amari Bynum, who you're talking about. In that exhibition game, halftime, no points. Came away at the very end with 13 of them. What are you anticipating, Ron? I mean, I know that it takes a while to kind of figure out a rotation when you get into live game time, but, I mean, Amari Bynum's game is pretty stellar. I have to imagine that he's going to see a lot of the court tonight.
You know, it's interesting. Every year I get a chance to talk to David Egelhoff, Director of Basketball Operations. He's been around this program a long time, and Terrence Dowds, a former player, now on the staff. I always say, give me your feel on the new people. What's their mentality? And they all love Amari Bynum. I mean, you think about what he did, his energy, his confidence. But the thing I always look at with freshmen is that the speed of the game, sometimes it could force them to do some things beyond what they're able and prepared to do, but no turnovers in that ball game. You think about that's in 17 minutes. That's outstanding for a freshman. So, again, an exhibition game, but still very promising numbers from the freshmen.
Ron, what are you most interested in tonight as they start their season for real against IUND? What are you keying in on, the most fascinating aspect to you?
Well, the big thing is that when you have these not exhibition games, but these different teams coming in outside of the Big Ten, it's the style of play, whether it's going to be full court, whether it's going to be half court. In this particular game, it's going to be up and down. The head coach for IU Indiana, this is how they play. They do full court. He averaged over 100 points a game for his team at West Liberty. So I'm interested to see how Ohio State will deal with that transition. I'm not concerned at all that they can't run with them. Just got to make sure that they take care of the basketball while they're trying to match that tempo.
Run and gun, baby. That's what IU Indy likes to do. They like to get up the court fast, to shoot a lot of threes. Should be a fun night. Ron, always appreciate it. Have a great call, and we will. I'll check in again with you on Friday, all right?
All right, go Bucks.
There he goes, Ron Stokes with us every single pregame show. Let's listen to some more Jake Diebler, shall we? How about how intense he is, and what does he wake up thinking about?
Your mind doesn't stop. Like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and, like, think of a play. And, I mean, we literally, I thought of a first play we wanted to run against a team last year at, like, 3 o'clock in the morning.
And you got to get to the pad.
And you just
put it down.
You just walk up, you get up, you draw it, and then you're like, oh, well, maybe we got to make this, but your mind just doesn't stop. And I think that's where the crazy part comes in.
I think for sure, right? I mean, I think you can talk to Ryan Day, you can talk to Jake Diebler, any of these great coaches over at Ohio State, Tom Ryan, the wrestling coach. They probably wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweat sometimes, thinking about all the ways that they can gain an advantage over opponents. So should be a fun one tonight. Again, thanks to Ronnie for hopping on with us a little bit here. IU Indy, again, fast-paced team. We'll see what the Buckeyes can do. Reimer, how many threes will IU Indy take tonight?
There's going to be a lot, that's for sure.
I think there are going to be. I don't know if it's going to be, I think 50. You think they're going to take 50 threes?
I mean, I could see that. I'd probably go 40-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over under 44.5?
Yeah, I like that.
All right. We'll see what happens in post-game when we get to that number. Everybody have an awesome night. We'll be taking you over to the shop. We got Paul and Ron coming up. Buckeyes game number 1 against IU Indy is coming up next right here on The Fan.
been listening to Fan Warm-Up. Stay tuned for Buckeye basketball on your flagship home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio